And the geek shall inherit the podcast. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Scoop Dog. I'm here with my review of Tron ARES. Me being someone who's not attached to the Tron movies, so I went into this with no expectations. The only thing I wanted was to have fun at a movie, and for the most part it did entertain me, but on a level where I'm just soaking in visuals and tuning out the story, because the story was the weakest aspect of the movie. And I'm pretty sure by now, if you've checked out other reviews, that's pretty much the most common thing. It started off with a great concept, man. At least right from the beginning. The one thing that is consistent throughout the entire movie is the soundtrack. 9 Inch Nails, man. I felt the bass of those synths in my feet, in my legs, in my stomach, in my chest. It was like it was like a massage chair in the theater for the entire movie. If the story was boring you, if the story was frustrating you, the music would pull you in right away and just kind of distract you, which was really good. Shout out to 9 Inch Nails. If you think about it, the one thing that Tron has been consistent with between this and Tron Legacy is the soundtrack. Because Legacy, I think Daft Punk and their soundtrack was more praised than the movie itself. So that's one thing they know how to do. Maybe they should think about doing like a Tron musical or something like that. And in terms of the story, it's the story about supplying the world's military with expendable soldiers, right? Soldiers that can die and can be remade within 5 minutes. They can create tanks, they can create ships, anything you want. It's like a 3D printer, it's taken to the next level. That concept, I was like, how can you guys mess this up? How on earth can you mess this up? It's brilliant, and what a new spin to put on Tron. The character comes off as so interesting until the first sign of, oh, we're going to abuse these things for exposition. When he's talking to Gillian Anderson, she plays the mother of Julian Dillinger, and she plays Elizabeth Dillinger, the daughter of Ed Dillinger. She makes an appearance, and right away, and instead of showing us about her background, they use ARES because he's so intelligent. He can tap into her files, just by thinking of it and get her background. But the details that he relays are details that, why would that be in someone's personal file? It's something that you would only know from being around her. It's not something that you would save on a hard drive. Just exposition spewing. Like, oh, Elizabeth Dillinger, your last boyfriend left you because you didn't like the way he was talking to his grandmother. It was such a weird thing. We learned that the 3D prints of ARES and the tanks and the weapons can only last 29 minutes before they crumble and then reset. And where Greta Lee's character, Eve Kim, comes into play, which is another character who they just use exposition to explain and like really corny tropes to define her character. She has the missing key that Evan Peters' character needs, just to sum that up. The way they go about that, the concept is so dope, where we see ARES and these other soldiers, they're invading the competition's computer, but we see it through the world of Tron. And you have the programs that are protective. That the fight scenes weren't even epic. You would think they would have done some really, really cool things with these fight scenes, but they just seem so basic. It's like they got just a fight choreographer, off of Craigslist or something, and said, yo, just do these fights. We'll do the rest in post. And right then, so I'm like, okay, if the movie keeps going like this, I'm still thinking to myself, how can they go wrong with this? This is such a cool concept. And then when they use ARES to hack into Greta Lee's computer, this is where I rolled my eyes till the pupils were in the back of my head. He's going through the files and he starts going through these video clips of interviews with Greta Lee's character Eve Kim, where she's just, it's like these moments that we could have seen in the movie, but for some reason they're saved on her hard drive. And moments where she's visiting her sick, dying sister in the hospital and someone's filming it, and for some reason they focus on the sister and then they pan and zoom in on her all the time. What asshole is filming such a grieving moment and then honing in on one person? And why are these files stored on your hard drive? And why is ARES going through these files and like he's falling in love with her? He's so captivated by this strong woman that she's fighting for this and this, and the clips were basically exposition dumps, and it was so lazy. You should have started off with those interviews, like her doing those interviews right there. You could have said 5 years ago or whatever, or 10 years ago, whatever it was, because there was no real introduction to this character, to the point where I thought that she was in Tron Legacy and I might have missed her, and that's why they just brought her in this way, where it's like she's a CEO of this company, but she's a reclusive CEO because she's out there trying to find the permanence code, which is what Julian Dillinger needs to sustain the Tron armies that he's building. And it just is so lazy. It's like you guys had so many good things working for you and you ruined it. And then the comedy aspect of it was so overkilled with Seth Flores. He's played by Arturo Castro. Whoever wrote the dialogue for this character, the jokes were so corny. It just didn't fit. His delivery was so corny. It's just like one take, ha ha ha, that's funny, move on, we have a deadline. They couldn't sustain what could have been a great character in ARES. It seems as if they couldn't continue to write like the type of dialogue for him that portrayed him as what he was supposed to be, highly sophisticated, the smartest thing ever. And it just seemed like I can't write that, so I'm just gonna write him as a cool dude who's into 80s stuff. Yeah, he likes Depeche Mode, he likes 80s music, and yeah, he'll say stuff like, man, you shouldn't quit your job, and he'll give you a fist pump. It made no sense. You showed nothing that would connect ARES to that kind of thing. It was just delivered in like an over-exaggerated performance, like, I enjoy the 80s, something about it. It's like they let Jared Leto freestyle that or something. It was really corny, and it was just used as a very lazy way to incorporate 80s music at times when you really didn't need it, because you had the Nine Inch Nails killing it. There's two good things that I'm gonna end this thing with. One was a particular scene when ARES is transported into a retro grid, which is basically from the original 80s movie. They went back to the whole like 8-bit look and everything, and that's where we get to see Jeff Bridges' character Flynn. And I never thought I would be saying this, because this actress really is not on my favorite list, Jodie Turner-Smith. But I will say this, her performance was the best. Matter of fact, she was the antagonist more than Evan Peters' character was, and she portrayed it excellently. Her screen presence was great, and at times menacing. Like, there's a chase scene, man, where she is going after Eve Kim, and she is running behind her up a parking lot ramp, and like, I love it because it's nighttime, so you really see the red neon glowing. It sounds like robot giants chasing after you, but just like those moments, man, she did really good. You know, it actually made me agree with something that Tony Baker said, that he liked to see her play Storm. If you had asked me that a week ago, I would have been like, hell no, do not bring her close to the X-Men franchise. But no, after seeing this, I think she would make an excellent Storm. And just a quick thing about her character, the character's name is Athena, and Tron is Ares, so the god and goddess of war. And they did not capitalize on that at all, because I really think that the writer could not handle the concepts. And what a waste of Cal Kestis. Like, how do you have him in this movie just to have like his leg chopped off, no lines of dialogue? Disney, can you please at least put him in like the next Star Wars movie or something, please? That's my review, guys. Have you seen Tron ARES? What did you think of it? Have you seen all three? Which is your favorite of the three? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Peace.